Again, you are going to take your main color yarn and make a slip knot, and then you are going to make a chain that goes from one side of your body to the other side. I'm going to make a chain of 65. If you have your chain, you are going to chain one more, and then you are going to place a half double crochet into the second chain from your hook, and then just continue to half double crochet all the way down your row. Once you finish your first row, you are going to chain one, turn your work, and put a half double crochet into each stitch. You are going to continue to do half double crochet rows until your project reaches from whatever coverage you want to your armpit. Now that you have the coverage that you want, you are going to make another one of these the exact same. And once you've done that, you are going to slip stitch the two pieces together. Pick which side you want to be facing out. For me, that's going to be this side and this side. So you're going to take them, I don't know why I did that. No, I was right the first time. So you're going to take them and take your yarn, chain one, then you're going to slip stitch into both pieces just like that, and you're going to do that for every row. Here's what it will look like. Then you are going to cut and tie off your yarn, and then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. So make a slip knot, insert your hook into both sides of the project, put your loop onto your hook, pull through, and then start making your slip stitches all the way down. Now we're going to start working on the sleeves. So make a slip knot, and then you are going to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Now you're going to skip this first stitch, go right into the next one, and make a single crochet, and then single crochet down your row. Just like that. So it should look like this. Now chain one, turn your work, and you're going to make a single crochet into the back loop only. So this is the front loop, then this is the back loop. Make a single crochet. Go all the way down. You are going to continue to work in the back loop only until your project gets to be, if you want full size sleeve, then it's the size around your wrist. If you want half sleeves, then the size around your elbow. So I will see you once you have done that. Now that your project is able to go around wherever you want it to go comfortably, you are going to chain one, fold it in half, then you're going to slip stitch each side together, just like you did with the main part. From here you are going to turn it right side out, and then you are going to chain. If you're doing half double crochet, then you are going to chain 2. If you're doing double crochet, you are going to chain 3. So the first row I'm going to do double crochet, and then the rest I'm doing half double. So I'm going to chain 3, 2 and 3. Then I'm going to put 2 more double crochets into that same stitch. Two, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets into the same chain. Then I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to skip a row and go into the next one and put 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. Chain 1, put 3 more into the same stitch. Chain 1, skip a row, go into the next row, and you're going to make another shell. You're going to continue to do this pattern all the way until you get back to the beginning. So I have a total of 14 shells. Now I am going to chain 1, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch, and then the next stitch, and then the next stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the chain space. And now if you're doing half double crochet, you are going to chain 2 like me. If you're doing double crochet, then chain 3. Put 2 more double or half double crochets into the chain space. Chain 1, and then put 3 double or half double crochets into the same chain space. And then chain 1, and you're going to put a shell into the chain space. You will repeat this all the way around, and you're going to continue to do this until your project goes from wherever you want the start of your sleeve up to your armpit. Now that your sleeve is done, this is what it should look like. From here you are going to take your main part and put the sleeve inside of the body, just like that. And you're going to line the neck, not the shell that your hook is in, but the next shell up with the seam. And from here you're just going to kind of eyeball what stitch to put it in. So for me it's going to be this one, whichever one lines up. Actually, whichever one lines up with where your hook is now. You're going to go through there, and then through the chain space and make a slip stitch. And then you're going to go into the next stitch and do the same. And then for the next 2 stitches, for me, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to slip stitch into them on the one side. And now that I'm just about to the middle, actually I'm going to slip stitch into 3 so that I have a stitch to slip stitch into for the stitch before the chain space, and then slip into it, and then slip into the seam and the chain space, and then the next stitch slip into both, and then just like you did on this side, what did I slip stitch? 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4, so just going into the one side, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now slip stitch into this side, and then the stitch before the chain space, and then slip into the chain space, and then slip into the next stitch. Then you can cut and tie off your yarn. Just like that. Now it's going to look like this. And you're going to do the same thing to the other side with the other sleeve. Now that both sleeves are attached, I'm going to be switching colors. So just make a slip knot. Insert somewhere in the back of your project. Then you're going to chain 2. And you're going to put a half double crochet into each stitch. And then once you get to the sleeve, I will show you what to do from there. So when you get to the sleeve, you can see that this is where you slip stitched your sleeve to your project together. You are going to make like you're going to do a half double crochet in there, but you're not going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. You're going to yarn over and insert into the sleeve, the same part where the sleeve is stitched together to the main part, and you're going to make like you're doing a half double crochet and then pull through all of the loops. Then you're going to half double crochet into this stitch, and then put a half double crochet into the chain space, and then put a half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, 2, then 1 in the chain space. You're going to skip this stitch and go into these 2 stitches, 2, put 1 in the chain space, and then 2 stitches, 1 in the chain space. Repeat this all the way around the sleeve, and then when you get to the front side, you're going to half double crochet across. Then you're going to do the same thing to the other sleeve that you did with this sleeve. Now you've made it all the way around, you are going to slip stitch into your first stitch, and you are going to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're going to skip this first stitch, go into the second stitch and put a single crochet. Then you're going to put single crochets into each chain space. you should end up with 7 single crochets. Okay, so you have this now. You are going to slip stitch into your next stitch, and that is going to end the row. And then to start the next row, you are going to slip stitch into the next stitch, and then turn your work, and then put a single crochet into the back loop only of each single crochet before. You should end up with 7 single crochets. Chain 1, turn your work, and do the same thing, single crochet in the back loop only. You will continue to do this all the way around till you have this ribbed stuff all the way around. Once you have the ribbing going all around your project and you reach the end, you will chain 1. Then you're going to sort of fold it like that and insert your hook into the side that you're on, and then insert into the other side. It's a little hard to see because I use black, and just make a slip stitch. And you're going to do this for every stitch. Oh, I did that wrong. You still have to chain 1, but you're going to slip stitch from the inside so that the seam is on the inside, not the outside. And you're going to go into the other side, and then the side that you're on, and make a slip stitch. And do that for every stitch. Now that you're to the end, you are going to cut and tie off your yarn. Then the last thing that you're going to need to do is weave in all of your ends.